Okay, so this is the last topical study out of Proverbs that we're going to be in. And the topical study tonight is trusting God and the fear of the Lord. Trusting God and the fear of the Lord. So these are the words that we are using for this topical study. I looked up the word trust, fear, and particularly fear of the Lord, understanding, insight, refuge, and wisdom. Okay? So those were the words. Let's start right at the very beginning of the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 1, verses 1 through 7. So it says, the Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight, for receiving instruction in prudent behavior, doing what is right and just and fair, for giving prudence to those who are simple, knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, and let the discerning get guidance. For understanding proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So Solomon says here that he writes the book of Proverbs so people will have good, healthy, right, correct information. And we have several of the words that we've looked up, right, included in these first few verses. So let me give you some definitions. The word wisdom, he says in verse 2, he's writing this for the gaining of wisdom. The word wisdom here means skillfully living a godly life. Skillfully living a godly life. When you think of somebody doing something skillfully, what do you think of? A craftsman, okay? So that means they do it well, right? A craftsman is somebody who has expertise. So wisdom means skillfully living a godly life. So that means you need to know what a godly life is, and then you have to practice living a godly life. It doesn't mean we do it perfectly. Practice isn't perfect. The practice is moving in that direction, right? That's why you practice. The next word is instruction. The word instruction there means rebuke, correction, or being chastised. The book of Proverbs is to teach us how to receive that kind of thing in a God-honoring way. And understanding, the word understanding means discernment. Being able to know what is good and true and take that and hold on to that, and to know what is not good or deceptive or bad and discard that. And the last word, there in verse 2, is the word insight. It means deep thinking. Deep thinking. So living a life of wisdom is a life of a thinking person. And this also tells us that wisdom is not just something that God pours into us, but it's something that we have to desire and pursue. And it is clear in these verses that Solomon is not just interested in filling people's heads with knowledge, because he goes on to say here that his instruction is for the purpose of prudent behavior. That means we're supposed to take the information we get from the book of Proverbs and think about it and meditate on it and mull it over, trying to discover how we can live it and put it into practice, specifically in the areas of doing what is right and just and fair. So a huge part of godly wisdom is learning from the Word of God how we are to treat others. And then verse 7, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Solomon is saying that the starting point for wisdom, the starting point for living a God-honoring and God-pleasing life, is living every moment of every day in a holy reverence for God. That is evident in all of your actions and all of your decisions. And if you're not living a godly life, it's because you lack wisdom. And you lack wisdom because you don't have the fear of the Lord. All right?